The new chapter is out, and we finally get to continue from what happened last time, and man, this was quite the chapter. So we continue from where we left off with Soya fighting against Shiba. But Shiba's realizing that this guy might actually be the strongest, and the rest that are behind fighting against Chihiro might also be extremely powerful. So he can't just keep fighting him here. He thinks it's best to just head back with him and make it a 5v2 fight. Meanwhile, in Chihiro's fight, one of the Toe asks his father for two blades, and then they just suddenly appear. And Chihiro realizes that, yeah, he's able to conjure up weapons as well that's around the storehouse. And here I thought he could just display them. No, he can just summon them whenever he wants. Now Kyora's realizing that Shiba's actually able to transport himself anywhere, which explains how they actually got to the mansion. Now, I'm really wondering how that works, because is Shiba able to just transport anywhere he wants, regardless of whether he's been there or not? Or is there more to it than that? Because that seems extremely reliable. And that actually might be the case, because he was able to find Sojo's place pretty easily. So I guess he's just able to go anywhere he wants, at least as far as we know. But then Shiba manages to come back right in time to prevent Chihiro from getting hit. Meanwhile, Soya is confused about why he's there, because he was like right in front of Hakuri, and his siblings are equally as confused, wondering how he got here. But because Soya said that, Kyora was now able to put the pieces together. Soya found Hakuri, and Shiba happened to teleport where he was at. But because he knows this, that creates a dangerous situation, because like immediately after, he actually summoned Hakuri. And at first I was a bit confused, because I thought, oh, did Shiba accidentally transported him too? Like how could he make that mistake? But no, it was actually Kyora himself. He brought him right there in front of everybody. And geez, like I know it's just this one panel, but man, I felt Hakuri's fear, man. Like you could tell he did not want to be there. And for good reason. Like immediately after, Kyora just uses his own son as a hostage. He doesn't really care about his kids, does he? They're just tools, man. You're either his bodyguard or just a trade item. And speaking of trading, Kyora actually says he's willing to trade Hakuri back to them if he got the enchanted blade. Which is pretty messed up, but we've already established how he is. Meanwhile, Shiba, not budging. He's like, you're not getting him back. He's not anything to us. He was just an informant. He told us everything he knows. You can keep him. And obviously, that's a lie. Shiba actually wants Hakuri to be safe. But it's best to just lie, because, I mean, in Kyora's eyes, yeah, he was just an informant and he told them everything, so why would they care about him? I mean, obviously they do, but in Kyora's mind, they shouldn't, so. And Shiba's like, man, you're even trembling. Scared to hit your own son? And he's like, no. I'm trembling with rage and sadness. Probably just really pissed off that Hakuri even told him anything about it. His own son. And he even goes off to say, this pathetic wretch was born in the Sasami family, but he can't even do sorcery. He's useless. Worse than a hindrance. His life is worthless. But even so, it would sadden me to kill my own son. I mean, you say that after just bringing this man down, like, in every which way possible. So yeah, he's a piece of shit. He sucks. He's worthless as a son, a human being, an item. But, you know, he's my son. It hurt to kill him. And then he goes on to say that he was thinking about banishing him, but his benevolence would be wasted. Once more, he's caused nothing but trouble. And now it seems that he's worthless even as a hostage. And then our boy Chihiro steps up. And he says, wait. Hakuri is worth quite a lot. That guy saved me. And, oh man, that meant the world to Hakuri, man. Like, he was looking for his samurai. He found it in Chihiro. He was following him, like, this whole time. He found someone to look up to. And once he finally did, he says these words, talking about how he saved him. Like, Hakuri was feeling really happy inside when Chihiro said that. Man, that's such a sweet moment. And that's our boy Chihiro for you, man. And I think with that, Hakuri is definitely part of the team now. And I really hope this is just a start of his development. Starting off with barely knowing any sorcery, I feel like this is just a stepping stone for him to improve and actually become stronger as the series progresses. And I really hope to see that. Like, I started off thinking to myself, who is this guy? I don't really care about Hakuri at all. And now I'm over here thinking about, oh man, this character right here has the potential to have one of the strongest growths in the series. I'm definitely rooting for Hakuri now. But, with all of that said, Chihiro actually was willing to give up his own blade for Hakuti. So now they finally exchanged, and the three of them finally returned back to where Hinoa was. And man, they looked defeated. And news must have traveled fast because the Kaminabi is now aware that, yeah, Chihiro's blade is up for auction as well. That's two sacred blades up for auction. So you know they must be considering putting up one hell of a bid for both enchanted blades. And now Kyora saying Hakuti is finally useful for once. Thanks to the trade, he has the blade, and he couldn't ask for anything more. Well, at the moment, because obviously he would love to sell all the blades, but, two is better than one, I guess. And now Hakuti just heartbroken that this even happened at all. He's apologizing, and he's saying that he's only been dragging them down. And meanwhile, Shiba's like, yeah, I shouldn't have brought back his brother towards the fight. I should have fought him on my own. And Chihiro's like, nah, if anyone is to blame, it's myself. I shouldn't have stayed behind. And actually, it's nobody's fault. And everything's going according to his plan, apparently. And Shiba's like, don't tell me that was your plan, to give him the blade. And he said, yep, nothing has gone wrong. With Enten, of course, releasing little bubbles in the air. So, really curious to see what that's leading to. Is he gonna somehow control the sword from a distance? Are they gonna teleport to where the sword is with Shiba? Or, I don't know, is he gonna conjure up the fish and have them just look around the area? I'm really curious to see how that's gonna work. But yeah, overall, this isn't an action-packed chapter like I thought it would be, but it's quite the emotionally heavy one for Hakuti, and I kind of like that a lot. The potential that Hogazono has left with Hakuti is really big, and I'm really hoping that once we move ahead, we really see him grow as a character, and maybe be one that could even stand up against his siblings, and even his own father. Because we saw him hesitate towards, well, all of them. Like, even Soya, the one that cared about him the most, in a hellish psychological way. But as we progress, maybe he'll be able to be strong enough to fight him toe-to-toe. Who knows? But yeah, I really like the chapter. I'm really wondering what exactly Chihiro's plan is with Enten. I guess we'll find out next chapter. Anyways, feel free to leave all of your thoughts about the chapter in the comments below. I'll try to read them all and, of course, respond. And that'll do it for me for now. Really excited to see what Chihiro's plan is, how it's going to be used in motion, and really just for the auction to start, because I feel like this is really building up to something good. So, here's looking forward to that. And that'll do it for me. Peace out, everyone.